Hi friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. Every single week I post a new pick a card reading that you, the viewer, get to vote for. So if you enjoy tarot, if you enjoy pick a card readings, stick around, consider subscribing. This week we are looking at your future spouse's current life. What are they up to? What's going on with them? So I have three piles for you. Pile number one is going to be the Lover's card from the Seer's tarot deck. Pile number two is the Lover's card, and this is from the Lovely Ladies tarot deck. And pile number three is going to be the Lover's card from the Wild Reflections tarot deck. So pause the video if you need to. Ask yourself which pile, or maybe piles, have a message for you. And let's talk about what you can expect in this reading. So for this reading, we are going to start out by asking who is your future spouse. We're going to look at who they are, what they're like, anything and everything that wants to be shared with us. That portion of the reading is also going to help you decipher if you have picked the right pile for you. Because if the person that is being described does not sound like somebody that you would date or even marry, right? If you can't date them, you can't marry them, then that is not your pile. We're then going to move into their overall energy right now. So what is their current vibe, mental, emotional state? We're going to move into what's currently taking up most of their time. So this could be like work, study, responsibilities, other relationships, projects, anything that could be taking up their time at this time. Then we're going to move into their home or living situation, like the where, the how, what they're living in their life right now. But what is their living situation like at this time? We're going to move into their emotional world. So what's in their heart? What are the main feelings, any struggles, anything that's going on emotionally for them at this time? Then we're going to look at the people that are influencing them. So key people or relationships shaping their life right now. We're going to move into their lessons or growth. So what is their current focus in life? Then we're going to look at their love life right now. Are they single? Are they dating? Are they healing? What's going on with them right now in their love life? Then we're going to look at what they're manifesting next. So this next chapter, opportunity, breakthrough that's coming up soon for them. What are they focused on? We're going to look at what they're subconsciously feeling about you. So any hints, any dreams, anything that may be coming up for them about you. And then we are going to look at divine timing, when your paths will align. And this is more about the when, but it may not be a specific time frame depending on what your specific pile, your specific deck gets. It could be more about clues about the timing or the triggers or when you're going to cross paths together. And then I do have some additional oracle cards that are pre-shuffled in. This is going to be one of those readings where I live shuffle on camera. So we're going to do the entire reading for you live, other than this pre-shuffled set of oracle cards. So if this sounds like something that you are interested in, stick around, get cozy, get comfy. If this is where you leave me, I hope you have a wonderful week and I hope you come back soon. Let's jump in. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you are drawn to the Lover's card from the Seer's tarot deck. I'm going to place that right over there. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is going to tell you everything that's going to be covered in this reading and the format it will be covered in. So I highly suggest that you check that out. Again, it is timestamped below. So in order to get started with the reading, we're going to look at who is your future spouse. So if this portion of the reading doesn't sound like someone that you would date, someone that you would be interested in, this cannot be your pile. Try choosing a different pile, or it could just be that this specific reading has no message for you, which is okay. Let's get started. So we have the bear, we have the owl, and we also have the gardener. So it says nurturing and patient. He'll grow beautiful flowers, just don't rush him. And with this deck in the middle, they give you a little bit of like the light attributes, and then they give you a little bit of the shadow attributes. So keep that in mind. But let's talk pile number one about who your person is. So we do have some earth energy, and I'm going by the element up there. So we have earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn represented here, and we have some air represented there with that element up there. And that is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That doesn't mean that your future spouse has to be one of those signs, but I do want to mention it as additional confirmation for those of you that are interested. But who is your future spouse? Your future spouse is someone who is, I think this is somebody who likes to kind of keep to themselves. This does feel like somebody that is more of an introvert than an extrovert for most of you. This is also somebody who can be very patient. This is a person that likes to take their time. This is somebody that likes to do things on their own time. This is not somebody that is going to be rushed. This is not somebody that is going to be strong-armed into doing something that they don't want to do. This is someone that has a very specific idea of what they want and how they're going to get there. And I do think that this is somebody that is very much a hard worker. I also think that this is someone that is very dedicated to everything that they have committed themselves to. So this is the type of person that in their work life, they're going to show up and they're going to be the best version of themselves. This is somebody that knows how to, cross their, dot their I's and cross their T's. This is somebody that is very easy to get along with, and there's something about them that is very grounding. Again, they have a very patient energy, a very patient demeanor. I do feel like they have a very gentle energy to them as well. Now, that being said, we do have the bear here, so this is not somebody that you want to mess around with. This is not somebody that you want to cross, but I do think that in general, this is somebody that has a very patient, gentle demeanor until they are pushed beyond their limits. And I do think it takes quite a bit for this person to react or to have a reaction where they're kind of not showing up as this like very grounded, very patient type of person. This is somebody who's very strong. This is someone who is very focused on growing and expanding. And I do think that this is somebody who is very self-aware. This is somebody who is very caring, very loving, very kind. I do think that this person has a very protective energy. I also think that this person is very nurturing. I do think this person is very patient. For some of you, this person could be into gardening as a hobby, but I think for most of you, this gardener card is coming up as more of a descriptor of this person's energy and how they move around in the world and how they move in their own circle and in their own energy. They like to take their time. They like to make sure that they're doing things correctly. They like to make sure that they are doing things the right way. This is not somebody who's going to take a shortcut. This is not somebody who's going to want to take a shortcut. This is somebody who's going to do things the way they should be done. And I think that that is one thing that this person takes a lot of pride in, is knowing that they do things the right way. I do think for most of you, this person is a planner. This person knows like what they want to do and how they're going to get there, and that this person operates best when they have a plan. This doesn't feel like someone who's super spontaneous to me. This feels like somebody who's more type A. This is also somebody who's very trusting. This is somebody who is very confident in themselves and what they want and what they are creating in their life. So I do think that they are very strong in their convictions. There's something very gentle about their energy that keeps coming up. This person is a go-to when their friends or family or colleagues, when they need advice. This is kind of a go-to person. This is somebody who is very abundant. I do think for many of you, this person does have a creative side. They feel very clairvoyant as well. Like they're very much able to read energy. One thing that's coming through is I do think your person likes to like they need their rest. This is the type of person that really needs their like 7 to 8 hours of sleep in order to function at their best. And I think that they know that. So that is something that they prioritize. Take that as it resonates, but it's coming through. This person is very intelligent as well. And I do think that this is somebody who's a quick learner. Like they learn very quick. They pick up on things very quickly. I do think that this is somebody that is able to trust in the universe quite easily. Like this person has a level of trust that what is meant for them is going to find its way to them. So that helps them be able to manifest the things that they are focused on. This is somebody that gives very good hugs. That's coming through. For some of you, there's going to be something very significant about this person's eyes. Like when you lock eyes, when you see their eyes, maybe it's their eye color, something along those lines is coming through as well. But pile number one, let's keep going here. So let's take a look at their overall energy right now. What's going on overall for them? What is their current vibe? What is happening with your future spouse? What is their current vibe, mental, emotional state? What's going on for them? Just overall energy at this time. For my pile number ones, for their person, what is going on? What is their overall energy right now? What is going on for my pile number ones? What is this person's overall energy right now? Bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card. We also have the Six of Wands, Judgment card, and the Ten of Swords. Okay, so pile number one, your person is going through a healing cycle right now. I do think that this person's overall vibe right now is all about kind of transformations. I do think that your person is going through a lot of endings and beginnings at this point in time. And for many of you, it feels like this person is like right dab in the middle of it. So, it feels like what they are focused on and what is their overall energy is realizing the things that are no longer working for them, realizing what they are keeping in their life, and realizing what can no longer stay. They're going through almost like this life review where they're looking at how they've gotten to where they are at right now and figuring out what do I want to keep and what do I need to get rid of. I do think that this person is going through a realignment of who they were, who they want to be, and how they're going to get there. So there is a lot of choices that this person is making at this point in time that is helping them almost like put the puzzle pieces together of their future and making the choices that are going to align them to that future. So this could be that they're going through endings in career, they're going through transformation in finances. This could be in other relationships. But this is somebody who is right now going through a major like period of contemplation and change. And I think for your person, pile number one, what they are realizing is, for some of them, what has kind of triggered this, I guess I should say the catalyst for this has been that they have been working very, very hard to obtain something very specific. It could have been something that they deemed that was going to make them successful, something that was going to kind of be their end game, their end goal. And for some of them, they've received this thing. They've accomplished it. They've gotten to it. And now what they're realizing is, listen, it just wasn't the thing that was going to make me happy. Or it could just be, I have this, now what? What's next? So I do think that this person is going through a period of contemplation, through a period of realignment where they're figuring out, what do I want to keep? What do I want to get rid of? And where do I go from here? And this does involve some endings. This does involve letting go of either certain ideas, certain beliefs, certain experiences, certain relationships. It's going to be different things for different people. But this is someone who's going through a spiritual awakening at this point in time. And for some, it's almost something that has happened to them, not something that they kind of initiated, but something that was in their blueprint, something that was meant to happen to make them realize the path that they were on and have that realization of, is this really what I want? Is this really what I picture for myself? And I also think that this person is a little bit like, I do think that your person in general feels like they are more introverted. I said that at the beginning, but I feel like this person at this point in time is really spending a lot of time on their own and trying to figure things out and put the pieces together. Yeah, they're prioritizing. They are prioritizing and they are deciding what is coming with them on this next chapter and what has to stay behind, what is no longer going to work for them, what is no longer going to work with the life that they want at this point in time. So, like I said, for many, it's going to be because they've gotten exactly what they were working towards and they've realized, like, this isn't even what I thought it was going to be, and I have to do something else. But this is somebody that emotionally and mentally, this person is really kind of going through it at this point in time. Let's take a look at what's currently taking up most of their time. So for my pile number one's future spouse, what is currently taking up this person's time? Most of this person's time. For my pile number ones, what's currently taking up my pile number one's future spouse's time, or most of their time? Bottom of the deck, the Knight of Pentacles. We also have the Four of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Queen of Swords. Pile number one, this person is in their thoughts. This person is really, this isn't somebody who's in their feelings. This is somebody who's like in their head. This is somebody who's taking the time to figure out what comes next. And what's interesting is that what's taking this person's time is that they're planning what they're going to do next. So it's not like they're actually doing too much at this point in time. I do think they're kind of in the planning stages. I do think that again, there's a lot of contemplation. There's a lot of going within. There's a lot of just like checking in with self and figuring out like what happens now. And that's what's taking a lot of their time. And this feels like somebody that is really like coming up with a plan. They're really sitting with themselves and saying, what do I want and how do I go where do I go from here? And for some of them, this is going to be across different areas of their life. And then for others, this is going to be more focused on one area. I do think for most of you, this person is really kind of taking a look at everything as a whole, just like where I'm at, where I've been, where I am going to go. And that may be, maybe I'm not crazy about the job or the career or the work-life balance that I have. Maybe I'm not crazy about the way that I'm spending my money. Maybe I'm not crazy about the relationships that I have in my life. Like this is somebody that is really dissecting every single area of their life, or one specific area, but for most of you, it's going to be multiple areas of their life. And they're figuring out, what do I need to do in order to get to where I want to be? And they're really in their head, they're really in their mind, and they're not taking much action. This feels like somebody who's kind of in the thinking stages, kind of in the planning stages. They're really in their own head trying to figure out what comes next, but they're not ready to take action yet. So as far as what's taking most of their time, what's interesting is that what's taking most of their time is the planning. It's the life review that they're doing, and it's kind of figuring out like what happens next, but they're not ready to take action just yet. And for many of you, the reason they're not ready to take action just yet is because they haven't fully decided on something. This is the type of person that they have to be fully 100% sure of what they want to do before they take action. And I think that that's why this person is so successful and they're so good at getting things done, because they don't commit until they're fully sure that that's what they want to commit to. So they're really kind of just figuring out next steps and figuring out not only next steps, but they're figuring out currently where am I at and what is my starting point. I want to see what's under. Yeah, they're planning. They're in their head. That's what's taking up most of their time. And don't get me wrong, pile number one, this is somebody who's still going through their daily routine. This is somebody that's still going to work. This is somebody that's still doing, like, meeting their responsibilities, but they're also just very much trying to figure out the next move. Let's take a look at their home or living situation. For my pile number one's future spouse, what is their home or living situation at this point in time? So where or how, who they're living with, who's around them, what's going on in their home or living situation for my pile number ones. All right, pile number one, we have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck there. We have the Moon card. We also have that Knight of Pentacles making an appearance again, and we have the 2 of Swords. I do think part of what they're trying to figure out is their living situation. For some of you, this person could have a roommate. For others of you, this person could be living with family. For others of you, this person could be living on their own. I do think for some of you, this person is considering moving away, moving out of the area that they're currently living in. I do think that this is someone that may be planning like something bigger than just like some changes in their life that isn't going to change their current location. For some of you, you haven't met this person yet because they're not in an area where you would run across them. And it could very well be that this person is going to end up picking up, uprooting their life and moving away from where they're currently at and moving closer to where you are at. Take that only if it resonates, because it's not going to be for everyone. But I do think that when it comes to their home life or their living situation, this is somebody that is there's a little bit of like an up and down, push and pull dynamic going on here. So I do think that part of what they're struggling with is figuring out if they want to continue where they're currently at. And that could very well have to do with like the actual location. Maybe it's the country, the city, the state, the town. That's what they're trying to figure out for some of you. For others of you, maybe they're looking to move away, because I do think that this person could very well be living either with roommates or family. That's not going to be for all of you, because for some of you, I do think that this is somebody who's living on their own. But for those of you that it may resonate that this person is currently living with someone else, and it would be like a roommate or maybe family, not necessarily, I'm not getting like a significant other that they would be living with. Yeah, they're trying to make choices about their living situation. This is part of what they're choosing, and they're trying to figure out where they want to be. I do think for those of you where this person lives with a roommate or like family, it's not that there are any issues. It's just that they're realizing that they're not in alignment with where they're at and they're trying to figure out where they want to be. As I said, for a good amount of you, I do think this person is going to end up like uprooting their life and moving somewhere where they're changing either their town, city, state, country, and they end up somewhere where they're closer to you, where they're able to connect with you. Pile number one, I have to say this because it keeps coming up, and we're very early on in this reading, so this could change as we move through the reading. But this is somebody that right now, it feels like their entire life is being questioned, and it feels like they are very much trying to figure out where they go from here. And it also feels like this is somebody who's very much in their head at this point in time, where they don't necessarily know which way is up and which way is down and where they're going to end up. Like, they're really figuring this out as we speak. And that could very well be why some of you haven't met this person yet. Let's take a look at their emotional world. So, emotionally speaking, what's in their heart? What's main feelings that they're dealing with? Any inner struggles, any desires? What's going on with your future spouse's emotional world? For my pile number ones, what's going on here? Bottom of the deck, we have the Devil card. Yeah, they feel confused. They feel overwhelmed. They may even feel a little trapped. That's absolutely coming through here. We also have Temperance. We have the Four of Cups. Yeah, that frustration is absolutely playing through here. And we have the King of Cups. So pile number one, your person is currently dealing with a lot of frustration. They're currently dealing with just, I think confusion is one of the good ways to put this, because it feels like they don't necessarily know what to do. They don't necessarily know what they want to do. And that's why they're in their head, because they're trying to come up with, where do I go from here? What happens next? Where is my focus going forward? Now, I do think for some of you, this person really is considering uprooting their entire life and like moving away from where they've been at, either for a long time or maybe for their whole lives. And that could be a lot of what is causing all of this. I also think for others of you, it could be that this person has reached a place where they're currently at, that it just feels like the right opportunities will never show up for them. Maybe it has to do with career. Maybe it has to do with dating, right? Like maybe they've been dating. Maybe they're in like an area where it's a small town. And it's kind of like, you know, I know that my person isn't here, or I know that my ideal career opportunity isn't here, or I know that what I want cannot be here. But also this is where my friends and family are at. This is what I've known my entire life. So for some of you, this is part of what's going on for them, right? It's like they're not feeling great right now. They're feeling very frustrating. They're feeling very overwhelmed, and they're feeling a little bit trapped. They're trying to figure out how to break free, but there are some ties that are keeping them kind of hanging on to where they're at, and it's keeping them from making a choice. But they're also at a point where they are getting to the point where they can't ignore that a choice must be made, and they know that happiness is elsewhere. That's what this feels like for most of you. I do think for some of you, this person is just really frustrated that they haven't been able to manifest or to receive an opportunity that they've been desiring and working very hard towards. And they're kind of fed up with that. But again, there are some ties that are keeping them where they're at. And this is somebody who's going to take their time. This is not somebody who's going to rush into anything that they're not ready to rush into. And one thing about your person is they are trying to keep themselves grounded. They are trying to keep themselves balanced so that they are making the choice based on not only where they're at emotionally, but also that they're being very discerning and very logical about the choice that they're going to make, because this is going to be a life-altering change for this person. And they are very conscious that they don't want to just rush into this and make a choice just out of like the whim of the moment. Yeah. this person is in their head. This person is going within. There's a lot of contemplation. There's a lot of like just checking in with themselves at this point in time. And emotionally, I do think that they are in a place where they're trying to keep themselves as grounded and as centered as absolutely possible. Let's look at the people influencing them right now. So for my pile number ones, who is influencing their person, their future spouse? Who are the people or the person, the relationships that are shaping their life right now? Tell me more about these people or this person. I'm going to be honest, pile number one, I'm not getting too much going on around them, but we'll see what we get here. That 10 of Wands. The Page of Cups, the Magician. The 6 of Swords. So pile number one, this is a very interesting answer, and I'm not surprised to see this here. I do think that the person that is influencing your future spouse the most right now is themselves. I do think that this is somebody who's really taking into consideration like the people in their life, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's colleagues, whether it's, business partners, acquaintances. Like this is somebody that is absolutely taking those people into consideration. They're taking those people, like when they're thinking about what they want to do, they are thinking about how it's going to affect them, but also the people in their life. At the same time, right now, the major influence your future spouse is going through is coming from their heart's desire, and it's coming from the things that they want to manifest, and it's coming from the changes that they want to make, but also from the changes that they know they need to make. So this is somebody that understands that things cannot be what they've been, and that things have to shift, things have to change, things have to transform, transmute in some way if they want to experience something different. They've kind of reached a point where they know that where they're at, they've gotten everything they can out of that experience. But again, there are some ties, there are some comfort zones that exist at where they're at. And for many of you, this does have to do, again, with uprooting, moving away, picking their life up and going elsewhere. For some of you, it may not be a complete move, but it could be making changes maybe in their career, or making changes in where they're living, or making changes in the relationships that they have in their life. But this is someone who is really being influenced by themselves and by the dreams and desires that they have for their own future. And it's almost like this person, as much as they want to be comfortable with where they're at, they may get comfortable for a day or two and that discomfort comes back in. Because it's their higher self coming through and saying, we can no longer grow here. We can no longer expand here. There are things that you have to experience that are not wherever it is that you are at, either physically, mentally, or emotionally. And for some, it's a combination of all. All right, pile number one, let's take a look at the lessons or growth. What is their current focus as far as lessons, growth? What is going on for them? For my pile number ones, the lessons or growth that my pile number one's future spouse is currently experiencing. I'm actually going to pick two cards. I'm hearing the number 2, so I'm going to honor that. There they are. 2 of Wands. You cannot make this up. All right, the 8 of Cups, the Ace of Swords. Yep, this is confirming everything I've been saying, everything I've been getting. The 2 of Wands is a card that says the comfort zone is comfortable, but there's no growth to be had. Like everything that you want is on the other side, right? Like when the 2 of Wands shows up, it really says it's comfortable, it's what you know, it's safe, but there's no growth here. In order to grow and to expand, you have to go elsewhere. And we kind of see, I really love this depiction in the 2 of Wands of the Light Seer's tarot deck, because we see this woman and she's kind of gazing, and we know she's gazing out, and we see the globe there. We see, we see the travel van, and we know that she's desiring, she's yearning for more. But also, it's safe where she's at, right? She knows where she's at. She knows what she can expect where she's at. But it's that desire that keeps coming up and saying it's time to go. And I think that's exactly what your person is going through right now. It's that knowledge of where I'm at, it's comfortable, I know it, I understand it, I know what to expect, but it's stagnant. It's not leading to growth. It's not leading to more possibilities. And the Eight of Cups is this person right now learning that they have to choose themselves. This person is learning that in order to get to where they want to be, they're going to have to trust themselves, and they're going to have to take a chance and change something. What that something is going to be different for different people. But I do think it's important to know that your future spouse is really being challenged to step out of their comfort zone right now. And that is the major lesson. The major lesson is that it's time to go. The major lesson is that they can trust themselves and pick up and go and move forward, because everything that they want and desire is elsewhere. And again, when I'm saying pick up and go, for some of you, it's going to be an actual, like, let me pick up my stuff and move, whether it's out of wherever I'm at and going into a different place. For others of you, it's more of a mental or emotional thing, or maybe it's like, it's time to leave the job. It's time to leave the living situation. It's time to leave the relationships that I'm in. It's going to be different things for different people, but the overall energy here is they have to pick up, either metaphorically speaking or more of a physical, like just pick up your stuff and go somewhere. And it's a lot. Like, this is a major life change, pile number one. So I hope that you know that this person really is trying, and they really are, like, this isn't somebody who's not doing anything, but this is somebody who's really trying to come up with a clear path forward, because what they're going to have to do is going to involve major, major change. All right, let's take a look at their love life right now. So this could be like, are they single? Are they dating? What's going on with them in their love life? What's happening? For my pile number one's future spouse, what's going on in their love life right now? Bottom of the deck, the Devil card. We also have the Queen of Cups, the Wheel card, and the Ten of Wands. Pile number one, this person is as single as they come right now. I don't think this person is even entertaining anyone. I think this person is going through a healing cycle. There's a lot going on in their life, and they're not really putting their time and energy into dating, which is completely fair, completely okay. I do think they are being very intentional about healing, about thinking what they want to manifest. And if I'm honest, I do think for many of you, part of what is causing this person to have this desire to grow and to expand and to move and to do something differently is the fact that they are seeking their person, and they kind of have reached a point where they know that either the life that they're living is not congruent with what they want in their love life, or where they're at is not going to bring them to where they want to be in their love life. So I do think that when it comes to their love life right now, this is somebody that is currently single, and not like single, but like, having these like side quests. This feels like somebody who is completely 100% single. This doesn't feel like somebody who's entertaining anyone. This doesn't feel like somebody that is having any sort of situationship where like they have any ties to an ex or anything like that. This feels like somebody who is single, somebody who is prioritizing other areas of their life right now to get to where they want to be. And I do think that they want to change this. I do think that this is somebody who wants to experience love and connection and is looking forward to changing their current experience in love and relationships. But for right now, this is somebody who's breaking through and having a lot of healing moments so that they can prepare for someone to enter their life. So what are they manifesting next? What are they manifesting next? In this next chapter of life, what is it that they're manifesting? What is a opportunity or breakthrough that is coming in soon for them? for my pile number one's future spouse. The Star card. The Eight of Pentacles. The King of Swords. The Sun card. They're really manifesting a breakthrough so that they can decide what to do next, and they're manifesting the answers that they are seeking. This person is really seeking answers. This person is really seeking clarity right now. Here's the thing, pile number one. I think one thing that you need to understand about your future spouse is that this is someone that is going to, once they know what they want to do, once they've made the choice, once they are committed to the idea, to the choice, they have no problem taking action and making it a reality. So for them, they're not necessarily worried about, like, once I decide what I'm going to do, how am I going to do it? What they are worried about, what they are concerned about, what they are focusing on is, what do I want to do so that I can finally take action on it? And I do think that this person really is prioritizing what is going to bring them happiness, joy, and a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, and a sense of, I am exactly where I'm meant to be. So what they're manifesting right now, what they're focusing on right now are answers so that they can then begin to take action on what they know is right for them, what they know is next for them. So keep that in mind. This isn't somebody that is just sitting around waiting for answers because they don't know what to do. In the sense of, once they know what they have to do, they won't know how to get from point A to point B. This is somebody that knows exactly how to do what they have to do, but they're trying to decide what that is because that's the part that they're struggling with. And I know that that may sound very similar, but I think it's a very important distinction for this person. They're not worried about doing the work. They're not worried about having to figure it out. They can do that part. What they're worried about is making the right choice for them moving forward. So what are they subconsciously feeling about you? So when it comes to your energy, what is it that they are picking up subconsciously about you? If anything, right? We're going to see how aware they are of your existence. Though I will say, pile number one, I do think this person, we're going to see what the cards say, but I do think this person is very aware because I think part of what's driving them forward is you. The World card. The Queen of Wands. The Page of Swords. The Chariot card. Yeah. Pile number one, part of what is driving them forward is you. Part of what is getting them from point, like at least to focus on where they're going to go next is you. They know that you are out there. They know that you are their future spouse. They may not know you by face and name. They may not know exactly who you are, but they can pick up on your energy and they understand that their person is out in the world and that in order for them to create this opportunity for the both of you, that they have to do some things differently. So I do think for my pile number ones, you are a big drive for them. And I do think that they can feel your energy, that they are excited to meet you, to connect with you. Some of you could already know this person, and maybe what they're trying to figure out, if you know this person, is like the logistics of it. Like, what do I need to do to make sure that this can be possible and this has the best opportunity possible? But I think for the grand majority of you, you don't know who this is yet. And it's more the idea of you and the idea of connecting with you that is driving your person forward. And pile number one thing I will say is they can feel almost like this sense of you belong together and you are a part of their purpose. So you are the drive for them. You are what is driving them forward to figure everything out at this point in time. And they also know that the time is coming, right? Like the time is here for you to connect and to grow together and to experience one another. All right, pile number one, let's ask about divine timing. When are your paths going to align? And this could be actual timing. This could be clues about the when. This could be the triggers that need to happen in order for your paths to cross. So let's take a look. For my pile number ones, what is my pile number one's divine timing. When will their paths align? Let's take a look. And if you hear the dog, it's not my dog, it's my neighbor's dog. The Fool card. Yeah, there's a new beginning here for the both of you. The Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Cups. So, pile number one. When it comes to when your paths will align, I don't think there is a exact answer as far as like exact timing. I couldn't tell you it's going to happen in 2 months, it's going to happen in 2 weeks. I'm not getting anything like that. But I do think that this is already something that is being worked on. And this is something that is already on its way to you both. Like, this is something that you are both falling into alignment with. And I do think for the both of you, there are blockages and there are obstacles that are already being removed so that you both can connect with one another. This is also coming through as your future spouse is going to do something. Again, that could be move, that could be change jobs, change careers, that could be change. There's something that they're changing, there's something that they're choosing, there's something that they're aligning themselves to that as a result creates the opportunity for you two to connect and for your paths to align. So this is already happening, this is already on its way. But there is no exact timing. I mean, it's a general reading, so it would be very hard to give you exact timing because there's many different people watching this. But keep that in mind, pile number one. Let's take a look at what else we have here. So I did pick some Romance Angels cards. So it says, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. We also have, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And then we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah, that's coming through. So pile number one, this could be a good time to really allow your friends, like if somebody wants to set you up, it could be that you meet this person through a friend. This is also saying, make sure that you're sticking to your intuition, that you're kind of really tapped into your intuition, because you may end up like having some intuitive hints of where you need to go or what you need to do in order to help this align. But just know that this is going to be worth waiting for. We also have trust. It is safe for you to trust in this situation. And trust that you are going to meet this person, that you are going to connect with one another when the time is right. So trusting yourself, trusting the universe can be very helpful. And finances, financial challenges are affecting this connection. So for some of you, it could be that your person is focused on finances at this time. And that could be part of the focus here as well. Let's see what else we have. So we have patience. Some things still need to be dealt with for this connection to manifest. And that's the thing, right? Like, not only is your person very patient, but I do think that this person is taking their time really figuring this out. So I do think pile number one's, this is kind of Spirit's way of saying, be a little patient with this. And I know that's easier said than done. So we have twin flame. This person is your mirror soul. This is why this connection feels so sacred to you. So for some of you, this could be a twin flame, a divine counterpart, a soulmate, whatever label you want to give it, whatever type of connection you want to you feel that this is, just know that this does feel very spiritually guided. And if you know this person, this may be confirmation as well. Then wow, this is a divine timing card. And now we have divine timing. Be patient while things are unfolding. This connection is worth the wait. So this card and this card are essentially the same card. And we also have the patience card. So it's a reminder. I know it's easier said than done, pile number one, but that's the message that's coming through. We also have new beginnings. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. So that could be a affirmation, a spell that you use. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. And we do have that butterfly symbolism there. So for some of you, paying attention to anytime you see butterflies, that could be a sign or a synchronicity that is coming through for you. So keep that in mind. And then we also have wisdom. Very interesting. Your person was was represented by the owl. So we have wisdom. On a Wednesday with a waxing moon, let wisdom come and be renewed. Pay attention. You may meet them on a Wednesday. But pile number 1, that is what I have for you. Your affirmation for the week. What is your affirmation for the week? I am patient. I am patient. I think that's a good reminder. That's a good affirmation. Just keep it simple. I am being patient. I am patient. You can claim it in the comments. Let me know what you thought, pile number 1. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on this one, because this one sounds like it's so simple, but also a little bit complicated, right? Like there's a lot that I'm sure is coming up for those of you that chose this pile. So let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way it helps you find me. Stay tuned for the next poll as far as what we're going to do next. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card. And this is from the Lovely Ladies Tarot. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown, which is time-stamped below. It's going to tell you exactly what's going to be covered in this reading and the format it's going to be covered in. So check that out. But to get started, we're going to look at who is your future spouse. And this portion of the reading is going to help you determine if this is your pile or not, because if this doesn't sound like someone that you would date, somebody that you would be interested in, this is not your pile. Try choosing a different one, or it could just be that there's no message for you in this specific reading, which is okay. So first we have the turtle. We also have the rabbit. And we have the poet. Romantic and soulful, writes verses for you, forgets to text back. So with this deck, every single card has a little bit of a light attribute and a shadow attribute. That's why it kind of gives you best case scenario as well as like the not so great. So keep that in mind. But let's talk about who is your future spouse, pile number 2. And before we get started, I do actually want to talk about the zodiac signs that are represented here. So if you look at the turtle, we see that element up there. That is the element of water. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces represented. And with the rabbit card, we see that element of earth over there. And that is representing the earth signs. So that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But let's talk about your person. So this is someone who is, I do think this is going to be somebody who is very romantic. I do think this is somebody who is very much in tune with their emotions and with their feelings. Like this feels like somebody who enjoys being in a relationship, somebody who enjoys being in love, somebody who really wants to do romantic things for their partner. And I do think that this is somebody that is very passionate. That's kind of why I chuckled when I saw the rabbit card, because that can be a very passionate energy, you know, multiplying like rabbits, if you know what I mean. So that's coming through for your person as well. I do think that this is somebody that really enjoys just being in love and really cares deeply for the person that they are with. I also think that your person is someone who has almost like a little bit of like a old soul feeling to them. I do think this is somebody that for many of you is going to be more on the introverted side. Somebody that is very much, I think this person is a thinker. I think this person really enjoys like thinking about different subjects and exploring different subjects. I think this person really enjoys learning about different things. I do think they do have a creative side. For some of you, this person could be, a writer, a singer. For some of you, this person has a very beautiful voice. They could write music for some of you. This doesn't necessarily have to be something that they do as a career. This could be something that they do on the side. But your person is someone that is very productive, very adventurous when they want to be. But this is also someone that really just enjoys spending time with their loved one. Like, this is someone that's really going to enjoy planning dates and figuring out what you're going to do together. This is someone that's going to keep things exciting between the two of you. This is also someone that is going to be a very good listener. Like, there's something about your person, like they're very good at listening to what you are saying. And this is somebody that also really enjoys talking about deeper subjects and talking about their thoughts and ideas and their desires for the future. And I think part of the way that you're going to connect with this person is through exploring each other's ideals and each other's minds. I also think that you're both going to have a very good communication between the two of you. I do think that your person can be patient, though at times I also think that they can be a bit impulsive. This is a very interesting energy that's coming through to represent them, because I do think they can take their time, but I also think at times they may kind of do things without fully thinking it through. I also think that your person has a very sensitive side to them. I don't necessarily know that it's available to just anyone, but it's something that's definitely there. They have a very sensitive side to them that is reserved for their romantic partner. I do think this is somebody who's very productive, who's very focused on productivity. At the same time, this is someone who knows when they need to take a break and someone who knows when they have to take a little bit of a time out to practice self-care. I do think that this person keeps themselves busy, but I also think that they are very good at knowing when to prioritize the like relaxing and downtime. I do think at times this person is very self critical, especially when it comes to anything that has to do with creativity. So, if they do have like some creative projects, if they do something creative, they can be a very harsh critic of themselves. There's something about this person, they have a very like dreamy energy to them. It's like very childlike, very dreamy. They're always thinking of like the next adventure, something that they can focus on, or something that they can do that would be fun and exciting. And pile number two, that's not to say that this is somebody who has no job or somebody who doesn't work, because I do think this is someone that does work very hard, but I also think that this is somebody who knows how to play as well. Like, this is a work hard, play hard type of person. I do think this person enjoys traveling. For many of you, this person has a lot of travel under their belt. They've experienced a lot of different cultures, a lot of different places. This person does feel like they have a lot of earth and water energy. I do want to emphasize that because that doesn't always come through, but it is coming through for your person, pile number two. There's something about the way that your person talks, about the way that they communicate. This person is a very good like storyteller. This person is a very good communicator. There's something very captivating about how they communicate and how they're able to weave together stories and ideas. For some of you, this person could be a writer. And I do think pile number 2, your person really enjoys to read. That's coming through. I do think at times they overwhelm themselves because they do take on more than what they should. But again, they've gotten to a point where I think this is somebody who's very good at setting boundaries and figuring out what they need to do in order to ground themselves back into reality and back into the present moment. All right, pile number 2, let's continue. So we are going to look at their overall energy right now. So what's their current vibe mentally, emotionally, just in general? What's going on for them at this point in time? For my pile number 2s, what is the overall energy for my pile number 2's future spouse? I almost dropped all these cards. It wouldn't be me if I don't drop them all at least once a day. Bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card. Wow, we also have Justice. We have the Two of Wands. And we have the Page of Cups. Pile number 2, your person, currently they're very much focused on, there's a few options coming through here. Take the one that resonates for you. For some of you, this person is currently working through some sort of creative cycle. So if this person does something creative where they're maybe like a writer, a songwriter, a singer, something along those lines, it could be that they're currently going through a cycle of creation. So it feels like maybe they're coming up with new ideas. Maybe they're doing some writing. Maybe they're doing some sort of creative project. And that is what they're focused on right now. It's kind of like they're getting the creative juices flowing. They're very much in their element. They're doing some sort of like creative work. For others of you, what is coming through is that this person is going through a shift and they are expanding and moving forward, moving away from something that is no longer in their life or something that is no longer what they want to keep in their life. So it's going to be different things for different people. But those are the two major scenarios that are coming through. For some of you, it's that this person is kind of in their vibe, in their element, and they're doing something creative and they're going with the flow and they're kind of really in that flow of creation. For others of you, it's more that they're going through a major shift and they are changing things in their life that is going to kind of align more with the next chapter that they're welcoming in. But I think for most of you, this actually does feel more like it's going to be something creative and that they're kind of in their element, focused on creating something that they're very passionate about. For some of you, it's writing. I keep getting like writing and like music. Let's take a look at what's currently taking up most of their time. So for my pile number 2s, what is currently taking up their future spouse's time? Most of their future spouse's time. There we go. I was going to say, one kept getting stuck and I couldn't figure out which one it was. Bottom of the deck, the King of Swords. Yeah, they're in their process. They're like in their element. Let's see what else we have here. The Four of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. Pile number 2, this person is in their element. This person is like, I think for many of you, what's resonating the most is going to be that they are kind of doing something creative. They're coming up with something that is going to, something that they're very like passionate about, something that they are pouring their time and energy into. And it does feel like it's taking a lot of their time. And if this is something creative, such as like writing, right? Like they could be writing a book right now. So they're really focused on like just doing what they have to do and like writing X amount of pages or X amount of words a day. But it almost feels like this person is like so in their element, so in that space that they're not really paying attention to much else, and they're very excited about what they're doing. And a lot of this is taking up a lot of mental energy for them. And this is something that they are very passionate about. For those of you where it resonates more with like they're kind of in this element of transformation and they're kind of stepping out of their comfort zone and they're going for something that is more in alignment with what they desire, it feels like they are focused on that, and they're just trying to figure out like one step at a time what that's going to look like going forward. But for the grand majority of you, this feels like a creative project. This feels like something that they're creating. This could be a business. This could be something creative, such as like maybe a book or an album for some of you. For others of you, take this one as it resonates, but your future spouse could be like an editor, and they are editing a book. They're helping an author put together something. For others of you, it could be that they are a ghostwriter, so they're doing something along those lines. Yeah, they're building something. They're putting something together from the ground up. For some of you, it's a business. That's coming through now as well. For some of you, this person is either starting a business or like building a business from the ground up, and they're kind of in the growth cycle, but they're really in their element. They're really like focused fully on whatever it is that they're working on. And for most of you, it's like some sort of project, some sort of business, some sort of, there's something here outside of them, something that's very tangible in a way, as far as what they're creating and what they're spending their time on. So let's take a look at their home or living situation. That was a terrible shuffle. We're going to do it this way. For my pile number 2s, what is their future spouse's home or living situation? What's going on with their living situation? This could be where or how they're living, including who's around them. Let's take a look. What is their home living situation for my pile number 2s? Bottom of the deck, the moon. We also have the 8 of Wands. We have Judgment. And we have the King of Cups. So pile number 2, I do think that your person's home and living situation is pretty comfortable. I do think for most of you, this person lives on their own, and this person has like their home is almost like their sanctuary. For many of you, this person works from home. So a lot of what they do for work has to do with like being in the house, or they're able to do it in their home. It could be that they also have like a home office that they're able to work out of. That's coming through here. I also think that when it comes to their home life, it is pretty comfortable. They feel very comfortable at home. They feel very safe at home. Again, the home feels like a sanctuary, but for some of you, it also feels like where they get their work done, where they go to do some work. So it could be, again, a home office, or it could be that they just work from home and they have that ability to work in the house. I do think that this person keeps their home like very much the way that they want it. So I do think that this is somebody that lives alone. I also think that this is someone who is very intentional about who they allow into their home. This doesn't feel like somebody who's going to be hosting the parties or have just anyone come over to their home, because they are very they're very intense. And it also feels like this is somebody that keeps the home very much in alignment with who they are. Like if you walked into their home, it would make sense that it's their home based on their personality. I hope I'm explaining that correctly, because that's what's coming through. Yeah, we have that 3 of Cups. For some of you, this person may have like one roommate, but I think for most of you, this person lives on their own, and their home is a reflection of who they are, and their home is like their safe space. But again, this person also does work at home for some of you. In their home, they have a space in their home that's like their go-to when they're trying to relax, when they're trying to let loose. For some of you, this person has like either a room or an area in the home that feels like where they go to for downtime. This person may have like a really nice, either like a TV, like movie theater type of setup, or like a bookshelf, like Beauty and the Beast type of like book library type of room. Obviously not as big as Beauty and the Beast, but like they have something for it. It feels like it's either media or it's books, which I know books are a part of media. For some of you, it could be like they do some sort of recording in the home. There's like a recording studio. There's something in the home that they either work out of or they get a very good like relaxation and a very good connection to themselves. They're able to like just relax and be themselves in this space and also create. For some of you here, this person may have like a recording studio in their home. Whether they record like videos or whether they record music, there's something along those lines. But for most of you, they live alone. And they spend a lot of time in the home because they work from home. Let's take a look at their emotional world. So what is their emotional world? What's in their heart? This could be main feelings, inner struggles, desires, anything that is going on for them emotionally. For my pile number 2s, what is going on in their future spouse's emotional world? Bottom of the deck, the Knight of Cups. This person is very creative. Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, and the Chariot. Right now, emotionally speaking, they are very much focused on what they are working on. They are very much focused on what they deem to be their purpose, what they deem to be a very important project or idea. Again, it could be a business. There's something that they're working on that's very important to them. And it feels like emotionally speaking, they're really pouring all of themselves into this. This does feel like emotionally, they're also trying to really keep themselves grounded and centered. And this is somebody that really is pouring their emotions and like having some sort of expression of their emotions through what they're currently working on. I do think part of their creative process is to kind of put themselves emotionally in a place where they can like be very connected to their passions, be very connected to their creativity, and really pour that into what they're working on right now. I also do think they have a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of like a nervous energy to them that has been coming up, and it has to do like, this could be like very self-critical, this could be perfectionism, this could be something along those lines where they're trying to make sure that what they are creating is up to par, up to standard. So there is some anxiety coming in through that, but this feels like somebody who's overall very happy, very content, and very much in their element. Obviously some things come up here and there, like the anxiety, the stress, but this is somebody that is very much in tune and really pouring that into what they are working on at this time. And for some of you, this person is working on a business. It's something that they truly care about. It's something that they are truly in alignment with. This is not something that they're doing just for money or just for the recognition or just for whatever it is that they're going to get out of it. They're doing this because this is something that they're passionate about. Yeah, this person is very much in like their dreamer type of state, type of energy. For some of you, this person is either a writer or a singer, and they're either working on a book or an album. For others of you, this could be like somebody who does like content creation. But for most of you, this really does feel like somebody who's doing something very creative at this time. Let's take a look at the people influencing your future spouse. So who is influencing my pile number 2's future spouse. This could be people, a person. This could be a relationship. This is like who's shaping their life right now. Who's a major player in their life right now. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Cups. They may kind of be on their own right now. Let's see what else we get here. We have the 4 of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles. Pile number 2, your person is kind of isolating right now. I don't think they're isolating because they're sad or they're depressed or anything like that. This just feels like somebody who's really just, again, in their element. I know I keep saying it that way, but that's the best way that I can describe this. Like, this is somebody who's doing their thing to the point where they're so wrapped up in what they're doing that they're kind of just separated themselves from other people. I do want to say, I do think their friends, family, and like their acquaintances are used to this to some extent. Like, I do think that this is somebody who would have communicated, like, listen, this is what I'm going to be working on. This is what I'm going to be focusing on. So I love you, but if you don't hear from me much over the next however long this is going to take, I think for some of you, this is going to be like a couple of months. For some of you, this could be longer. But like, if you don't hear from me much throughout this process, just know that there's nothing but love. And I think the people around them understand that this is their creative process. This is how they work. This is how they operate. But it does feel like this is someone that right now there aren't too many people influencing them other than maybe colleagues or people that they look up to. I do think that your future spouse does have almost like a circle of people that they can either collaborate with or like kind of just talk to and like throw ideas around, or it could just be like they have a mentor or they have somebody that they look up to and that person is kind of influencing them in some way, or those people. For some of you, it's a group of people, but for the most part, they're really focused on themselves. They're really focused on what they're working on, and they're kind of keeping themselves away from others, and they're keeping themselves focused on what they are currently doing. And not like, this isn't somebody who's spending their weekends with their friends and family at this time, because this feels like somebody who's really putting every single ounce of energy that they have into what they're working on. Yeah, they're doing their thing. And like I said, for some of you, this person does have like a mentor or somebody that they work with, somebody that they look up to, and that person is playing an important part in this. But it feels like for the most part, they're kind of doing their own thing as well. And it could be somebody that is like somebody that they look up to, not someone that they actually know that is a mentor in some way, or that is what they're striving towards as far as their creations go. But they're kind of doing their own thing right now. And there's no bad blood between them and their friends or family. It's just the way it's kind of working out right now. Let's take a look at their lessons or growth. What is the current focus of their lessons or growth right now? For my pile number 2's, what is the current focus for my pile number 2's future spouses? Growth and lessons. King of Wands. Yeah, they're in their creative energy. We also have the Knight of Cups. We have the 9 of Swords, and we have the 3 of Cups. I think that a big lesson that your future spouse is learning right now, or at least that life is trying to teach them, because I think they're so focused on what they're doing that they're not necessarily paying too much attention to what's going on around them. But I think that what they're learning is more about their creative process. I do think this is somebody that is right now so meshed in with whatever this creation is. I think this is somebody that is so connected, right? Like, this feels like whatever it is that they're working on, whatever it is that they're creating, and themselves have kind of become one unit. And part of what they are realizing is what works for them when it comes to their creative energy and to their creative expression. I also do think that this person, part of what they're supposed to be learning, and I say supposed to be because I think for some of them, they're so deep in it that they're not really seeing the lesson so much. But I think what they're supposed to be learning right now is also to find that balance between like their creative energy and how they're able to spend time with others and how they're able to prioritize other things in their life. I also think that your future spouse right now, as far as their growth, I do think this is somebody who is doing a lot of growing and expanding. And I think that they are pretty much exactly where they're supposed to be. And part of their growth is going to bring in some soul contracts that they have to kind of connect to that is going to help them. And that could be through, putting out whatever it is that they're creating. That could be a soul contract with even you, the viewer, who is going to be their future spouse. But this is a time where they're activating a lot of soul contracts that are going to be very significant for them in their life. But for this person, there's a lot that they're learning. There's a lot that they're growing that they do not realize that they're growing with or expanding with, if you will. Yeah, the moon card. They're going through a lot of strong emotions, and that's exactly what they're using to create whatever it is that they're creating. It's going to be different things for different people. But I don't think that they are seeing the bigger picture because they're so into what's currently happening for them. I want to see their love life right now. So pile number 2, what is your future spouse's love life right now? So we're looking for, are they single? Are they involved with anyone? Are they dating? Are they healing? What's going on for them with their love life at this current moment in time? For my pile number 2s, what's going on for my pile number 2s with their love life right now? Bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Pentacles. We also have the 8 of Swords, the Star card, and the Ace of Cups. This person is single right now. Pile number 2, this person feels very single right now. This person, your future spouse, is so focused on what they are doing that it just feels like they don't even have time or energy to think about anything else. So this feels like somebody who is single. This feels like somebody who is focused on themselves. I think that for your future spouse, whatever it is that they're working on, whatever it is that they're focused on, is taking up all of their emotional energy. It's taking up all of their time. And they don't have time or energy to pour into anyone else. And I also think that they prefer it this way because they do know that right now they cannot give to someone else. So if you already know this person, it could very well be that they told you, like, listen, I'm working on something and I cannot be in a relationship. I cannot date. I cannot focus on anything else other than what I'm doing. And they are being very honest about this. That's absolutely coming through here. Like, this is somebody who's being very upfront about their limitations because of what they're working on at this point in time. And they want to kind of do their own thing right now. And I'm going to be honest, I just dropped that. I got to pick that up. But I'm going to be honest, this doesn't even feel like someone who's necessarily even like focused on healing. It just feels like somebody who's focused on what they're doing, and what they're doing is taking up so much time and energy that's all they can focus on. Like they're just single and they're doing other things and they're focused on other things. All right, pile number 2. I picked that back up. Let's take a look at what they're manifesting next. So what is the next thing that they're manifesting? What is the next thing that they're going to focus on manifesting for themselves? For my pile number 2s, what is my pile number 2's future spouse going to manifest next? I'm very curious to see what this is because this person is booked and busy right now. For those of you that haven't met them, they don't have that much time to meet anyone. We have the Sun card. We also have the Fool, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. They are aware that this is a very imbalanced approach, and they are aware that this is not something that is sustainable. I also do think that whatever this project is, whatever it is that they're working on, whatever it is that they're creating, whatever it is that they're focused on, I do think that there is an expiration date, meaning that there is an ending in sight. So it almost feels like they know that once they are done with whatever it is that they're dealing with, they're going to be able to have more time, more happiness, more joy, more opportunities, and a brand new beginning. So there is a kind of like an end point to this for them, where they understand that once they're done with this, then they're going to be able to manifest other things into their life. And I think that the main thing that they're going to try to manifest into their life is more ease and more just balance. And I think that they're definitely going to try to manifest a little bit of like more fun and joy and just being able to take a break and not being so on all the time or not being so busy all the time. So they are manifesting like, once this is done, this is what I want my life to look like next. So pile number 2, their focus when it comes to what comes next is something completely different than what they're doing right now, which is interesting. Yeah, they want a little bit of a break. They want some rest. They want a timeout. They want to just be able to relax for a bit. And that's what they're manifesting next. Pile number 2, I'm very curious. We want to know what your future spouse is subconsciously feeling about you. So what, if anything, are they subconsciously feeling about you at this time? Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Swords. We also have the Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man coming up there again, and the 7 of Pentacles. For some of you, they're definitely able to feel your existence. They're definitely able to feel that there is somebody out there for them. Now, I'm going to be honest. I do think for this group, it kind of breaks into 2 distinct messages. And I think for some of you, this person, while they kind of understand and know that you're out there and that you exist, they're also pretty disconnected from anything that isn't related to what they're currently working on. So it feels like they're kind of, it's there, but they haven't quite tapped into it. They haven't quite connected to it to figure out what exactly that is and what it looks like and what it may mean or anything like that. For others of you, I think that this person knows that you exist and you're out there, and it could be that they know you already, that you have met them. If you have met them, pile number 2, give me the tea. What is this person working on? Obviously, you don't have to get too specific, but like, what is it something creative? Because I want to know. But for those of you that have met them, like, it's almost like they're kind of just not focusing on the reality of the situation or what's going on with you. It's almost like, again, they're like so involved in whatever it is that they're doing that they're kind of shutting everything else out. And for those of you that haven't met them, where they know that you exist and that you're out there, part of it is they're not really giving it all the time and energy it deserves, because they want to focus on what they are connected to right now, which is doing some sort of creative project, some sort of something they're pouring their time and energy into, whatever this is for them. So it's like they know that you're there, and for some of them, they haven't really tapped in to even discover what it means or what it could mean. And for others of you, it's like they know that you're there and they know what it means, but they're not giving it the time and energy it deserves right now, because they know they can't really open up to the opportunity or to the creation of the opportunity that they want with you. Pile number 2, let's take a look at divine timing. So we're going to take a look at divine timing and when your paths will align. So what's going on here? We could get something like an actual time frame, or it could be more of energetic markers. So let's see what we get for you. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Sun card again, and we have the World card. Pile number 2, as far as when your paths are going to align with this person, they have to wrap this up. They have to be in a place where they feel good about what they're currently working on and they feel like they've completed it. I do feel like for this person, they're not really open to meeting or connecting with anyone until they wrap this up. Now, the good news is for most of you, I think that they are in a place where this isn't going to take too much longer. Like, I think I got this earlier, but for most of you, like, this is like a 2-3 month thing. For others of you, it could be longer, so take it as it resonates. And as a reminder here, as you're listening to this, just because this is the pile that you chose and this is who is most likely to come into your life, if you don't want to wait, you don't have to. You can manifest something else. But I do think that in order for this to come together, this person, your future spouse, has to be in a place where they feel good about what they've created and they kind of get to the place where they get the whatever their end goal is for this creation, whether it's like, they put out their project or they put out whatever, maybe it's a book, maybe it's an album, maybe it's some sort of video, whatever it is, they put that out and they feel happy about it. Then they're kind of in a place where they're able to allow other energy in, or they receive recognition, or it's a business, they get the business going to the point where it can kind of operate and do its own thing without them being as involved. But this is really speaking about, in order for your paths to align, this person has to be open to it. And the problem is, or I guess the issue at the time is that they're not really open to it right now. So this is one of those things that it can manifest rather quickly as soon as they kind of make that choice to open themselves up to the opportunity. Pile number 2, let's see what we have here for your pre-shuffled cards. First, we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So that could be something that is for you, that is for them. Maybe part of what they're working on is kind of healing the past. Though, again, I do feel like they're really involved in something that is more tangible at this time, but take it as it resonates. We also have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And for some of you, this is going to come together really soon. Again, for some reason, 2 to 3 months is coming up. That's not going to be for everyone, though. And then we have new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So for many of you, this is going to be somebody completely new, someone that you have not met yet. Take that as it resonates. We also have chemistry. The attraction you feel is mutual. So there's going to be a lot of chemistry, a lot of passion, a lot of attraction here. We have support. Lean on your inner circle during this time. So pile number 2, as you are waiting, if you're frustrated, like spending time with loved ones, this is also a message for my pile number 2s of, if somebody wants to set you up, if somebody thinks that they know someone that could be a good fit for you, maybe that's how you meet this person. We also have, we have new love twice. We have new love, a new chapter begins, whether it is with a new partner or in a current relationship. Some of you may know this person. Some of you, this is going to be somebody completely new. We have free yourself. You don't need to be in control of everything for a love relationship to be successful. So that is a reminder to surrender and let go and allow things to unfold how they are meant to. I know that's easier said than done. Then we have pay attention to the signs. The synchronicities you have been noticing are not coincidences. So pay attention to any messages that you are receiving. That could be very important. Let's take a look at what else we have here. So we have harvest. As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. That's the energy that your future spouse is in. That is the energy that they're in. And then we have peace. Bridget, goddess in your sacred name, a light within me, peace is flame. So you could use either of those as an affirmation, as a spell. But pile number 2, that is what I have for you. Your affirmation for this week, I actually really like this one. I am ready to receive all. I am ready to receive all. Claim it in the comments. Use it as an affirmation. Let me know what you thought of this one, pile number 2. I'm very curious. Especially for those of you that know who this person is. What's going on with them? Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. All of those things help me and the channel out so much, and I appreciate you for being here. Thank you once again for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card, and this is from the Wild Reflections Tarot. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, in the beginning, I did do a reading breakdown, which is timestamped below. I highly suggest that you check that out because it's going to tell you everything that's going to be covered and in the format it will be covered in. But to get started, we are going to look at who is your future spouse. And pile number 3, you were the only pile that had 2 of these cards fly out. Like they just flew out. So we're going to honor that. Let's see what we have. So first we have the wolf. We also have the tarantula. Then we have the architect, thoughtful and precise, great at layout, bad at laying out emotions. And for this deck, I do want to kind of put in a little bit of a disclaimer. It shows both the light attributes and the shadow attributes. So it's going to give you kind of the good and the bad for each of these archetypes. And then we have the bartender, smooth and charming. He remembers your drink, though maybe not your name. All right, so let's talk about who this person is. So before we get started, I do want to talk about the elements that are here for those of you that want to hear that. I know some of you really enjoy that part. So with the wolf card, we have the element of earth. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn represented there. And for the tarantula, we have the element of fire. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius represented there. So pile number 3, when we talk about your person, who is this person? This is someone that is quite interesting. So I do think that this is like, let's actually get into it because I was going to say something else. So as far as who this person is, this is somebody that has a very protective energy. If they care, they are going to really protect their person and the people in general that they care about. I do think this is someone that can be very honest, someone that can be very caring. But I also think that this is a person that, you know, they really do save all of that love, all of that care for the people that are right in their circle, for the people that they care about, for their family, for their loved ones. And this is someone who is very reliable. This is someone that has a very adventurous side. I would even say that this person can be a little bit fearless at times when it comes to, you know, dealing with whatever it is that is showing up in their life at any given moment. They are going to do so with confidence. They are going to deal with it head on. This is someone that is not afraid to speak their mind. This is someone who can be very, who can really stand out and be the person that takes control, be the person that becomes the leader in any given situation. Like this is somebody that is going to step up and do what needs to be done. I also do think that this person has natural leadership abilities that they are very comfortable in stepping into. For some of you, this person may quite literally work as a manager or as a business owner or is in charge of other people. This is someone who is very instinctual. This is someone who is very tuned in to their instincts. And I do think that this is someone that even when they don't know what they're doing or which way they're going, they always find a way. They always find a path forward. And I do think that this person has a very good sense of who they are and where they're headed in life. So it's easy for them to make choices that are in alignment with exactly that. I also think that this is someone who really wants to be happy and fulfilled. And in order to find happiness and fulfillment, they have a very specific idea of what they are here to accomplish and what they are here to do. So that helps guide their steps, that helps guide them in their journey. And again, I think that's why it's so easy for them to find a path forward, even through uncertain times, or even when they are not sure about what the right next move for them is. Your person is very good at prioritizing. So, this is someone who is going to prioritize their time, their energy. They're going to prioritize their finances. They're going to prioritize their relationships. They are very clear on what is a priority in their life and what can take almost like a back seat in their life. So, they do have very clear priorities of everything in their life, but especially what they want to focus on at any given time. I do think for most of you, this is someone that keeps very active. For some of you, this person really enjoys traveling. For others of you, this person really enjoys like working out, remaining active in some way. This is somebody who's very intelligent, and I do think at times they tend to overanalyze and overthink. But again, they're very good at like getting out of their own way once they realize that they're doing it. They do have a level of wisdom as well that they've gained through life experience. One thing about your person is this is someone who is very good at walking away from anything that is not serving their highest and greatest good. This is also someone that is very good at planning and putting together a plan. So they know exactly what they want and they know how to put together a plan that is going to work for them to get them closer to where they want to be. And I do want to say, I do think this person is very smooth. I do think this person is very charming. I do think this person can be very flirty at times. I don't think they would be disrespectful if they were in a relationship, but I do think they have a very natural, like flirty, charming vibe to them. This is someone that can be very thoughtful as well, especially when it comes to like giving gifts. Like they really pay attention. So they're very thoughtful when it comes to gift giving, but also when it comes to being there for the people that they care about. I do think for some of you, this is not going to be for everyone, take it as it resonates, but for some of you, this person really enjoys spending time by the water. It could be like beach, lake. It could be that this person is a swimmer, but that's coming through. This person has a very strong aura to them. This is the type of person that you meet and they stand out to you in some way. I do think at times your person can be a little bit of a workaholic, like they can really focus in on work when they have to. But one thing about your person, pile number 3, is that this is the type of person that is going to work hard, but they're also going to play hard as well. This person has a very clear end goal, dream, purpose, desire that they are constantly working towards. For some of you, this person is very handy. They like to do things with their hands. They like to fix things. They like to create things. For others of you, this person has a creative side to them. This is also someone that is constantly on the go, constantly moving, constantly doing something. Your person's energy, for most of you, not all of you, is very extroverted, pile number 3. I'm also getting that this is someone that is very funny. Like they're very good at making other people laugh and connecting with other people. All right, that's what I'm getting. I was just holding just to see if anything else wanted to come through because it felt like it was, but it didn't. So, pile number 3. Let's start your reading. So, we're going to talk about their overall energy right now. So, for your future spouse, what's going on with them right now? What is their overall energy? What is the current vibe, mental, emotional state? Just what's going on with your future spouse right now as you are watching this. For my pile number 3s, what's the current vibe? What's the current energy for their future spouse right now? And we are using the Wild Reflections Tarot for this group. I'm going to push that over there. We will look at these at the end. All right. Bottom of the deck, the Tower card. Okay. We also have the Queen of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the 5 of Wands. Okay. Pile number 3, your person is kind of going through it right now, I have to say. So it feels like this is someone who is currently going through transformation and change. This feels like someone that is kind of building from the ground up. And some of that has to do with things that are outside of their control. But some of that also has to do with things that are within their control. So what I'm trying to say by that is I do think something happened here where it was unexpected. It was outside of your person's control, but they have kind of taken it on as their mission to make the best out of this situation. For some of you, this person could be dealing with change in their career. This person could be dealing with like a loss of some kind. For some of you, maybe I'm kind of getting 2 very distinct scenarios, so I'm going to share those. For some of you, this person may have like lost their job, or this person has decided to go elsewhere. But it feels like something that happened as a surprise. It feels like something that happened unexpectedly. For some of you, this person could have just like, been laid off, or maybe like their place of employment changed up and it's no longer where they work, or that could have been something outside of their control. But what they're doing is they're taking the bull by the horns and they're saying, well, now I get to rebuild with intention. Now I get to rebuild exactly what it is that I want to live and what I want to experience. So that's absolutely coming through here. For others of you, this could be a loss of like a relationship, a loss of a friendship. This could be a loss of a person, such as like somebody crossing over or somebody passing away. But overall, pile number 3, regardless of how this is presenting for your future spouse, there's a lot of change. There's a lot of transition here. But what's beautiful about this is that this is someone who is using all of this change. This is someone that is using this as an opportunity to rebuild exactly what they want and what they desire. And they're using whatever has happened in their life as a way to push them and propel them forward to accomplish something that has been on their mind, something that has been a desire for them, but something that they hadn't had too much time to focus on. So for those of you that resonate where this is like either job loss or there's been a change in their career, they're now saying, instead of just doing what I've always been doing, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to create what I want, to create the life that I want. And maybe that involves, changing careers. Maybe that involves looking for a different kind of job. Maybe that involves like going into business for themselves. So there's something here that they're taking it as a form of empowerment and they're paving their own path forward. that is different from where they were at. For those of you that this is about like a relationship loss, this person is going through a period of rediscovery. This person is going through a period of just figuring out who am I right now and where am I going to go from here. And I think that's also the case for those of you that this resonates as like a career message. I do think they are looking at their situation and saying like, all right, that's who I was, that's what I was doing, that's what I was used to, but what do I do from here? So this is someone that is currently going through it in many ways, but also someone who is taking advantage of this and viewing it as an opportunity. Now, for most of you, this is not going to be like a loss of someone as in that person passed away, but it came through. I think that may be the case for like one or two of you. But for most of you, it's either like the ending of a relationship, the shifting of a career, the ending of a job or a career, and they're really making the best out of this at this time. And part of that is them remaining open and curious. Yeah, look at that Page of Wands. They're definitely like really exploring. And for those of you where this resonates as a relationship coming to an end, this person is really going through like self-discovery and figuring out what went wrong, what went right, and where do I go from here. And when I say the end of a relationship, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. This could have been, a platonic relationship. This could have been a business relationship. All right, pile number 3, let's take a look at what's currently taking up most of their time. So for your future spouse, what is currently taking up most of their time? What is currently taking up my pile number 3's future spouse's time? Let's see what we have here. So what is taking up most of their time? Bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Wands. I mean, they are picking up, right? They're going. They're picking themselves up. They're picking up whatever is left. And I do think this person is going through a difficult time, but I also think that this is someone that's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing forward. This is not going to keep me down. You can't keep a good thing down, pile number 3, and that is your person. So I do think there's a lot going on emotionally. I do think there's a lot going on in their life in general because they're trying to figure out a lot of things at once. But one thing is, this is someone that's going to keep going. This is someone that is pushing forward. And this is someone that's trying to figure out a path forward right now. Let's take a look. The King of Cups, the Moon card, and the Devil card. Yeah, they're trying to figure things out. So a lot of what is taking up most of their time is figuring out what's next and doing it. I do think for some of you, it's kind of splitting up into two groups. For some of you, this person has already kind of figured out a plan and they're putting it into action. For others of you, this person is still trying to figure out, like, where exactly do I go from here? And for those of you where this is about, like, this person is changing careers or this person lost their job, they're trying to like figure out, the paperwork. They're trying to figure out their finances. They're trying to figure out like, what do I want to do from here? They're trying to like update their resume or their, CV, depending on where you are at and what you call it. So they are doing what they need to do and they're focusing on like the present moment. This feels like someone that is very much present in the present moment. And also they're dealing with what comes up with this emotionally, right? Even though this is the type of person that is going to deal with things as they happen and as they have to, it's still a lot emotionally to have to deal with. So they are kind of dealing with like the repercussions of like the emotional mental fallout, but also having to take action and having to figure out, where do I go from here and what do I do from here? And for some of them, they are in a place where there are a lot of unknowns, where things are just not clear, and they're having to figure out, where do I go from here? They're having to figure out what is the next step. I want to see what's underneath here, the 3 of Wands. Yeah, they are looking forward to what's yet to come. Because one thing about your person, pile number 3, is they're not the type of person that is going to look at like worst case scenario. Even when things look bad, they're always going to find a way to stay positive or to come up with a solution. So there is a level of like, they know this is temporary, but they're still in the thick of it, which is normal. Let's take a look at their current home or living situation. So their current home or living situation, where or how they're living, including who's around them. So we'll see what comes up for you. For my pile number 3s, what is their person's current home living situation? This person's current home living situation. Bottom of the deck, the 7 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. For most of you, this person lives on their own, and there's no one that lives with them. There's no one that's kind of in their living space. I do think this person has family and friends that are really around and checking in on them and taking care of them, but I don't think that this person lives with anyone. And I think when it comes to their living space, this is kind of like their go-to, their sanctuary. I do think that this person is spending a lot of time at home figuring things out, even if they're still working, even if your person's situation is not about like job loss or career change. It feels like they are spending more time than usual at home, and it could be because maybe they're done with work and they go home, or it could be because they have either they're going through a layoff or they're going through a career change, so they're in between jobs, so they're spending more time at home. But it feels like this is someone that is spending a lot of time in their home more than usual, because I do think that your person is typically more of an extrovert. I do think this is someone who likes to spend time with friends and family and go on adventures and have hobbies. And right now it feels like they're spending more time at home just trying to figure things out. I also think that this person is right now prioritizing rest, self-reflection, and contemplation. So it feels like they're spending a lot of time doing that. Plus also, for those of you that resonate with this person is in between jobs, part of what they're doing is like really working on looking for places that they would want to work in, updating any credentials, updating anything that they have to update in order to do that. And I also think that this is someone who is right now taking some time for healing and taking some time for just like recharging and taking care of themselves. And I do think that this person is doing a lot of that in their home, but I don't feel like this is someone that lives with anyone, though I do think that they have people that are checking in on them. Like this feels like the type of person that has a friend or a family member that would stop by and say like, listen, I thought of you and here's some food. Or listen, I thought of you when I came to spend some time with you, because I do think that the people in their life know that this is a little bit of a difficult period in their life. So they are checking on your future spouse quite a bit. Because I will say, pile number 3, your future spouse is someone that is very loved. Like there's a lot of love for your future spouse. And people want to make sure that they are doing okay, that everything is good with them. Let's take a look at their emotional world right now. So what's in their heart at this time? This could be just feelings. This could be any inner struggles. This could be desires. What's going on in their emotional world at this time? Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. We also have the 3 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Sun card. So pile number 3, there's a few things happening for your future spouse emotionally. One of the things that I do want to mention is that I think that this is someone that right now is so grateful for what they do have. I do think whatever it is that they went through, However, this energy is presenting for them in their day-to-day life, they are very grateful for what they have, because there is a recognition of, I've lost something or someone, depending on where they fall in this scenario. But at the same time, there's so much that I still do have, as far as opportunities, as far as, I think if this is the type of person, or if this is the person that lost their job or got laid off or is in the middle of a career change, one thing I want to say, pile number 3, is this is somebody who saves for a rainy day. This is someone that is as prepared for that as they possibly could have been. So I don't think they're struggling in the sense of like they don't know where their food is going to come from. They don't know where their rent or mortgage is going to come from. But I do think that they're somebody who has prepared. They're somebody who has a good amount of savings. They have a good cushion, and that's what's giving them the opportunity to really say, what do I do from here, and what do I want to create from here, because it's a privilege for them to not have to rush into something that they're not fully ready for, or that they're not fully into, right, as far as jobs and careers. For others of you where this is a relationship that has come to an end, they are in a place where they're also able to recognize, look at all the people that I do have around me. Look at all of the people that are stepping up, and look at everything that I do have. So this is somebody that is very glass half full instead of glass half empty. And that's part of what's going through for them. It's that recognition of, even though things aren't perfect, even though things aren't ideal, they are very grateful for what is in their life. They are very grateful for what is showing up for them, and the people and the, the finances, everything that they have. So that's a big part of where they're at emotionally. It's things suck, but also let me look on the bright side. They're also very much focused on looking at what comes next. So I do think this is somebody that is very much really looking at their desires and looking at, where do I want to be 6 months from now, 6 years from now, 10 years from now? And they're trying to figure out that answer, because that answer is going to give them the path forward. For those of you that this person has already figured that out, they're trying to put into action the plan that they have come up with. And I do think that pile number 3, your future spouse, over the last couple of weeks, because this feels like this started very recently, maybe a month, but it feels like under a month for most of you. They've also been looking at what do I believe in? What is my truth when it comes to life itself? So they are in a place that feels very grounded. They are in a place emotionally where it feels actually very positive, especially when you consider what this person is going through and all of the change and upheaval and even chaos that is happening in their life. But they are in a place where they're able to keep themselves grounded, and they're able to look at almost the bright side of the situation that they're in. So let's take a look at the people influencing them. So who are the key people or person in their life at this time? So who are the people around my pile number 3's future spouse? Who are these key people that are playing a role in this person's life? I was going to say, it's not all of them. I felt an extra one trying to sneak in. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the Emperor card and the 3 of Swords. I'm not surprised by this because I am feeling this. Your future spouse has a best friend. For most of you, it's a male. It's a man. This is a best friend. And for most of you, this is someone that has been in this person's life for a very, very long time. This would be more like a brother. For some of you, it could quite literally be a brother or a family member, because I do think family is also playing a part here. So I do think that your future spouse has at least 3 to 4 people, for most of you, that is in their corner, that is influencing them, that is around them, that is really taking care of them at this time. For many of you, I'm really getting that best friend energy. And that feels like a masculine, a male energy. For others of you, there's also family members that are in the picture. This feels like this could be like mom, dad, sister, brother, maybe a cousin or two. But it feels like this person is really surrounded right now by people that want to make sure that your future spouse is not alone, that your future spouse is not going through this alone, because there is a lot that is going on for them. There is a level of heartbreak here. There is a level of loneliness here. There is a level of something was very, very unexpected. Whatever happened to them, whatever this current situation is, it was very unexpected. And I kind of want to touch upon, for those of you that resonate with this is like the ending of a relationship, this feels like this was something that like blindsided this person. And maybe even if they made the choice to end the relationship, and again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, I think there was some level of betrayal. I think there was some discovery that led to your future spouse saying, this has to end, this cannot continue. So there's a lot of just like unexpected heartbreak. This is not something that your person saw coming. So as prepared as they are, because this is the type of person that prepares for life, especially financially, they were not prepared for the level of change that was going to happen almost overnight, because it feels like they went to sleep one day and everything was fine, and they woke up the next day and everything was like turned upside down for them. And for some of you, this person had to make the choice. For others of you, life kind of took over and made this choice or made this situation what it is for them. And for those of you where this applies to career, it feels like it was very like surprising. It could have been like a layoff. It could have been, we're closing the company, we're closing the business. It's something along those lines. And for those of you with relationships, it could have been one person ended it. It could have been they figured something out and they ended it. But there's something here that was very unexpected. And that's why the people around your future spouse are really making sure that they're okay and that they are doing well. And they do have family and a very close friend. And again, for those of you that resonate with this is a best friend, this is someone that's been around for a very, very long time. For some of you, this could be someone that they like actually grew up with, like went to school with. Maybe it's they went to college with this person. Maybe it's, they've been together since high school, middle school, elementary school, something along those lines. And pile number 3, as far as the influence, these people are just there for support. It doesn't feel like they're trying to tell your future spouse what to do. It doesn't feel like it's a bad influence. It feels like they're just there for support and they're doing their part to make sure that their loved one is thriving. Let's take a look at their current lessons or what growth they're going through. For my pile number 3, for their future spouse, what's the current lessons or growth that their future spouse is going through? Current lesson or growth that this person is going through. The 8 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Cups, we have the Page of Swords, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So pile number 3, a big lesson, or it's not even a lesson. A big thing in your person's life right now is making peace with what is. I do think a big lesson for your future spouse is radical acceptance right now. Accepting what is and creating change from a place of this is what I have to work with, right? And I do think that your person is pretty good at doing this already. This doesn't feel like somebody who's necessarily struggling as much with that idea as it's just like, I'm exhausted. Things keep coming up. I'm tired, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing the thing because I know that I'm worth it, because I know what I deserve, and because I know what I want, and I'm not just going to give up. But there is a lot of just like making peace with what is, and acceptance, and releasing a past chapter, because part of this is, regardless of what's going on for your future spouse individually, part of this collective message for pile number 3 is that this person is having to kind of close a chapter out, and it's a chapter that they were not expecting to close in the time frame that they had to close it in. Even if this person was thinking about, like, this relationship isn't working, or even if they were thinking about, maybe I want to change careers, it's not necessarily happening on their timeline. So there is a level of having to come to terms with that and having to make peace with that. They're also in a place where where your person is really having to tap in to their dreams, their desires, their vision for their future. And they're having to explore, where do I go from here? And they're having to do it from a place of being in the thick of it, being in like, it's not like I'm just going to dream about it and think about it. It's I'm thinking about it. I'm coming up with the dream. I'm coming up with the vision. And then I'm having to take action on it. So it really does feel like they are like right in the thick of it. They're right in the middle of this situation, of this time frame for them. And they're having to deal with like what is right in front of them. And the good thing is your future spouse is very good at doing that. But it is still very overwhelming. Pile number 3, let's get down to business. So let's ask about their love life right now. So we're going to try to get as much information as possible. Like, are they single? Are they dating? Are they healing? Is there a situationship? What's going on? For my pile number 3s, their future spouse. What's going on in their love life right now? You know what? You want to come out. Let's see what else. For my pile number 3s, what's going on with their future spouse right now in their love life? The 3 of Pentacles, the Judgment card, the Ace of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. Pile number 3, your person is single. Your person is single and healing. For some of you, this person did come out of a romantic relationship and they're doing a lot of healing. For others of you, this person has been single for a little bit. I don't feel that they have anyone. This 3 of Pentacles could be their friendships. Maybe for some of you, this person has someone that they hook up with, but I'm not getting that for the grand majority of you. This feels like I'm healing, I'm focused on myself, I'm taking a time out, and I'm figuring out next steps going forward. This also could just be friendships, the friendships that they have. One thing I want to say, pile number 3, is your person has, I don't want to say a lot of friendships because that's not going to be the case for everyone. But for some of you, they do have a good amount of people that they are friends with, that care about them, that they care about. And these people show up for your person because your person shows up for them. So like your person is the type of individual that is going to, like, if somebody is going through a loss, if somebody needs something, this is who's going to show up first and say, what do you need? How can I be of service? Or like, let's go out for a drink. Let's go out for food. Like, I'm here. Do you want me to just sit with you? Do you want to go do something? That's your future spouse. So because that's who they are, the people in their life are showing up in ways that your future spouse could not even imagine. And I think that's why there's so much gratitude here, because it's like everyone is showing up for me. So as far as what is happening here for your future spouse, I would say most, if not all of you, this person is single and kind of focused on other things. And this person is doing a level of healing around relationships. For maybe one or two of you, this person could have somebody that they kind of hook up with, somebody that's very casual, but they have a very clear understanding of what it is. But I think for most of you, this is actually friends that are kind of being support systems, and your person is taking a time out from dating. And for some of you, this person did go through a breakup when it comes to a romantic relationship. And if they did go through a breakup, I do think for some of you, there was some sort of betrayal. Take that as it resonates. So what are they manifesting next? For your future spouse, pile number 3, what are they manifesting next? What is their focus as far as what they're manifesting next? What are they manifesting for this next chapter? Four of Wands, they do want some level of success. They do want some level of like getting what they want and what they desire. They're manifesting change. They're manifesting a complete different like lifestyle. Whatever it is that they lost, whatever it is that they're going through this transition for, they're manifesting something completely different from that. They're manifesting something that is going to bring in some sort of change for them in the best way possible. So whatever it is that just left their life, like let's say this was a job they got laid off from, they're manifesting either a different career or a different type of job in the same field that they were in. For those of you that resonate with this is a relationship, they're manifesting a different kind of relationship. So they're manifesting something that is different from what they just experienced the loss with, what they just experienced the big change in. But they're also manifesting inner peace and harmony and something that is going to bring in balance into their life. And I do think that your future spouse is manifesting stability. Part of what they want is more stability because they are going through this period of just like upheaval. Pile number 3, let's take a look at what they're subconsciously feeling about you, if anything, right? So subconsciously, what are they feeling? Is there any soul recognition? Are they having any, intuitive hints about you? What's going on? For my pile number 2s, my pile number 3s, I don't know where 2 came from. For my pile number 3s, what is their future spouse feeling subconsciously about them? I'm hearing 2, so I'm going to honor that and just grab 2 cards. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. Ooh, the 4 of Wands, the Page of Wands. Pile number 3, when it comes to what they're subconsciously feeling about you, there's a very faint understanding that you exist. It doesn't feel like for your future spouse, it's at the forefront. It feels like there's this almost desire, this possibility, this looking forward to, this trying to figure out how you're going to be able to come together. It's almost like a little bit of a fantasy of my person is out there, my ideal person is out there. But it feels almost like it's just a thought, and it's a very far off thought for them right now. For some of you, this person desires you. This person thinks about what is possible as far as a relationship and as far as a marriage. But they're also, I don't think they're in a place where they fully believe that it is possible for them right now. So it feels like a very far off, it's almost at the corner of their mind. And it sometimes kind of comes into the forefront and it gets pushed off pretty quickly. Because they do have a lot that they're going through. They do have a lot that they're focused on right now. I actually want to go into the next question. Divine timing, when will your paths align with one another? For my pile number 3s, when will their paths with this person, with this future spouse, when will they align? And this could be actual timing. This could be what triggers both of you crossing paths. Let's see what we have here. Because it feels like they do have some level of awareness, but it also feels like it's very faint. 3 of Pentacles. Death card, the Hierophant, and the 6 of Wands. Pile number 3, for some of you, you may meet this person through a friend, through a family member, through a colleague. So keep that in mind. For others of you, this is really saying that your paths are going to align when this person goes through this transformation. They're still in the middle of it. They're still going through this period of transformation, and they're still kind of just figuring out their current belief systems. They're currently figuring out what they want and what it means for them to have success and for them to be happy. So they have to move out of this energy. They have to go through this before you can find each other, before you can cross paths with them. And part of this is because they're not quite thinking about it. They're not quite focused on what they want. They're still trying to figure it out. They haven't quite figured it out because they're still in this place of transition. And pile number 3, for some of you, you may have listened to this and just been thinking like you're talking about me. And if that's the case, you're definitely mirroring one another. Let's see with the Oracle cards, what else we have here. All right, so for my pile number 3s, we have free yourself. It is time to take back control of your life. And I think this is what your future spouse is working on. And for some of you, this is also what you are working on. Then we have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Yeah. For those of you where you resonate that this person is going through a relationship ending, I do think that's the case for some of you. And that's what they're working. They're working on clearing that person's energy. Then we have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And I think that's a good message, good advice for you, the viewer, but also for your future spouse. I think that's a big thing right now where it's just like, let me focus on just having fun and grounding and being present and enjoying things for what they are. We also have stability. This relationship can stand the test of time. And I do think that your future spouse is trying to find their footing right now so that they can have more stability in their life. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? Pile number 3, I'm telling you. For your future spouse, for those of you that this person ended a relationship, there was a form of betrayal. There was a form of misalignment that led to this. Then we have deepening. A relationship will finally deepen in the next few months. You have been waiting for this. So yeah, for some of you, this is getting closer than ever. Take it as it resonates. Then we have nothing has gone wrong. Trust the process. This connection is divinely timed. So everything is as it's supposed to be. All is well. Everything is falling into place. Then we have unbreakable love. This person has genuine love for you. You can overcome any issues that may arise. So this is going to be, for many of you, a soulmate. This could be a divine counterpart. This is somebody that you're going to have a very deep bond with. Let's see what else we have. So we have health. Mother Earth, sweet. Mother Earth, bright. Bring to me your health and might. And I do think this is a good time for both you and your future spouse, but especially for your future spouse, to just like focus on taking care of self and doing what's right for self. And then we have beauty. I have a form which is divine. I allow what is within to shine. That's a very beautiful one. Pile number 3. That is what I have for you. Your affirmation for the week. I surrender to love, and opportunities. I surrender to love and opportunities because the right opportunities are going to show up for you. Pile number 3, claim it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. For those of you that know this person, let me know what's going on. I mean, obviously you don't have to give details, right? But like, give me something, pile number 3. But thank you for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. All of those things help me and the channel out so much. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.